Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. And welcome to today's DCEU and MCU Daily combined. Now, months and months ago, I did a video called Captain Marvel versus Wonder Woman. I'm going to do a similar thing today because a lot of water's gone under the bridge since that time. I remember Wonder Woman, the build-up. It was a very difficult build-up for Wonder Woman because it came after Suicide Squad, if I remember rightly, and Batman v Superman. I love those two films, by the way, but the mainstream audience hated them. So it would have been a big challenge for Warner Brothers to convince people to go and watch Wonder Woman. But what was brilliant about this, the trailers told a story that we were going to see a really beautiful journey of one of the biggest superheroes in the history of comic books. And this is what people don't understand when people talk about Wonder Woman and the success of the movie. Wonder Woman is as iconic and as long-running and as awesome as Batman and Superman. You know, she is part of that holy trinity for a reason, because she's just as epic and as popular as Bats and Supes. There's no question about that. She's always been around, right? So there is that. That's not the whole reason the Wonder Woman movie did so well. But when you look at the marketing, it was beautiful. The trailers looked beautiful. You could tell that Wonder Woman was going to be a very, very awesome movie. And they had Chris Pine to boot. Gal looked amazing. Her delivery of her dialogue in the trailers looked amazing. It looked like we were going to get something very, very special. But then something else happened to really amplify the feel-good factor going into this movie as a DC fan. You had Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins, the director, having this beautiful friendship on set together. And they wanted to show us that. We saw them on videos. We saw them imploring boys and girls and men and women to go and watch Wonder Woman together. It was a beautiful idea by Warner Brothers. This positivity around the movie was beautiful. Wonder Woman is for everyone. That's what they told us. Now, we already knew that already. Wonder Woman's a woman. It's in the title, right? We know she's a woman going into it, right? So we want them to create a really good female character here. But for the creatives involved in this movie to understand, as many men love Wonder Woman as women. But we understood as men that this was an opportunity to get young girls to go and watch Wonder Woman, to get more women to the cinemas to watch superhero movies. We all understood that opportunity, and why would we want to get in the way of that? Nobody would want to get in the way of that, would they? So Wonder Woman had this beautiful positivity. Patty Jenkins isn't just a brilliant creative, she's a beautiful person inside and out. And you could see that by the way she talks and the way she spoke about equality. It wasn't in a hateful way. It was in a great way, and she always made sure that we understood, and I'll repeat, that Wonder Woman is for everyone. And so when we come to get that film, we're all smiling, we're all excited, we're all ready to go and see that film. And we come out, and I tell you, that film is a brilliant film. And I never understood the criticisms of the third act. By the time she's on her knees and she's getting angry because Steve Trevor's dead, and then she realises that she chooses love rather than hate, it's a beautiful moment and a great message for children of both genders, of people of both genders. That movie is a freaking celebration, and it's a freaking great cinematic experience, and you come out of it and you feel it, and you feel proud to be a DC fan. And so we come to this situation where we kind of expected a similar thing. Well, I think you all expected a similar kind of thing with the build-up to Captain Marvel. But things began to happen. I mean, I doubted this because of the way Disney have conducted themselves in the past couple of years. So I did feel this would be a strong feminist agenda push, but in a negative way, because unfortunately we have people I call fake feminists pushing feminism. Now they think being a feminist is about men holding doors open for them, stealing their wind, men asking them to smile, men asking them for their numbers. Right now in the third world, and in very, very poor countries, war-ridden countries, there are young girls and young women getting their genitals sliced off, being tortured, being raped. Sorry for the graphic description. Now, we have a lot of women in Hollywood fighting against that. Our very own Amber Heard, who is involved in the DCEU, does beautiful work to help women and girls across the globe for trying to stop it, these girls and women from being tortured. So what is Brie Larson doing? She's talking about white dudes, about men asking for her number, men asking her to smile. That isn't feminism. That's hatred. That's small-minded hatred. And what has she done? What have you done, Brie? You've created a shitstorm. I don't know. Maybe you love all this. Maybe you love all these people talking about you negatively. But right now, you must be in a room somewhere wondering where all this is going to end. I don't believe that Brie Larson is responsible for this on her own. I think that Disney have been very, very clever, told her to do all the mouth movements, right, while they sit and with their hands clean. That's what I believe. And where does Kevin Feige stand on all this? If you believe anything he said in public, you're very naive, very naive. He can't be happy with what's going on. He created something beautiful before Disney arrived. Disney took it over and they took it on and they've done a good job with Kevin. But this isn't what you do. If it was up to Kevin, he would have promoted Captain Marvel the same way Warner Brothers promoted Warner Brothers. But Disney didn't want this. And Brie Larson is an activist. The problem is she wants to push a good message badly. She's creating hatred instead of love. Now, if you were here before, when I started this video, I spoke about how Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot were promoting representation, but were saying that Wonder Woman was for everyone. They did something else as well. They were showing pictures and videos of young boys dressed as Wonder Woman. One of the most beautiful, inspirational things you'll see. Again, pushing the notion that Wonder Woman wasn't just for girls, was for boys too. It's for everyone. This was a beautiful idea by Warner Brothers, and I hope when we get to Wonder Woman 1984, we don't get this kind of promotion we've had for Captain Marvel, and we continue with this openness, Wonder Woman being a character for everyone. I don't think Gal would start coming out attacking men, and I don't think Patty would. It's stupid. Why would you want to lose half of your audience? It doesn't make sense. When you can promote equality and gender representation in such a beautiful and positive way, as they did for the first Wonder Woman film, all I would say to Disney and Brie is, what do you think you're doing? This isn't even good business. But you know what? My message to you all, and I think I've said it to one of my videos yesterday to you all, I said we can't allow these people to ruin our MCU experience. We've been watching this for over 10 years. Let them gob off in public. We can still watch the movie and enjoy it. Now, I've noticed there's an EW magazine out where you've got a picture of Samuel L. Jackson and Brie Larson, where it says tackling aliens, sexist aliens. They keep on doing it. I don't know. I don't know what this means for the box office. I still am not convinced this film's going to fail because of this. I think if it was a lesser franchise with less popularity and longevity, they would be in a lot of trouble. But then we saw what happened to Solo after The Last Jedi. And that was nowhere near as blatant as what, in the build-up to The Last Jedi, there was no virtue signalling. There was no wokeness. The wokeness was within the film. That's when people were really triggered. I wasn't triggered by the wokeness in The Last Jedi. I was triggered by how underwhelming the film was. That's what really bothered me. I'm always bothered by the creativity and the entertainment value. That's what I look at within films, rather than what messages they're trying to push. Unless they're blatantly man-bashing and blatantly virtue signalling, then that is a big, big problem. And so I think people will still tune into this film because it is the precursor to the most anticipated CBMs of all time, which is Avengers Endgame, which is, and I'll say no more about that, but it is sad because it's become a civil war now. Every time I go on Twitter or on YouTube, there's a video or a post, and it's very negative and it's very sad. And when you compare it to the build-up of Wonder Woman, which was full of love and respect for everyone, I just don't understand why a company would go down this direction. When will all this end? Well, this won't end till Donald Trump isn't the president of America anymore. Hollywood have decided to go to war with him. Unfortunately, it's a war they can't win. The only way you get rid of him is if you don't vote for him in the next election, or you find evidence against him to prove that Russia were controlling the whole election. And I don't know how you do that. America is stuck with a very evil man as president. And, you know, targeting all white dudes because a white dude, a really bad white dude, is the president of America, for me, has no legitimacy to it, and really gives that evil person more strength and power, because hate always fuels hate. And this is why I don't understand why Disney and Brie Larson have gone this direction, but it isn't very comfortable when you see it. It isn't a comfortable situation. It's very problematic. It's sadly that we've got people, creatives in the industry, who have infected this industry with politics. There's people who have built big YouTube platforms who have infested this business of the entertainment industry with hatred. So who really loses out? The creatives who want to create, the audience who want to see imagination and be taken to other worlds. These are the people who are wounded in the end. So hopefully the sooner Trump isn't president anymore, the better, so we can go back to watching and enjoying movies.